welcome back to my YouTube channel, like picturesque villainist. And I totally forgot my whole spiel. Why? Because I have not made a video in 4 or 5 years. So this video is going to be like a piggyback, giving you guys an update on what has happened in those 4 or 5 years, and how I am now and where I am now, and following up to everything as far as this channel. Just a disclaimer, I may not, I'm looking at my kitty babies here. Sorry. I'm sorry. You want to be booked? I don't know even where that stopped, but I will say this. So before I go on into the video, to update you about my German life, because I am still in Germany and all that good stuff, but I want to give you up to speed. So when I first started YouTube, I did the lipo review, and my motivation for starting a YouTube channel was so that I could give people reviews that I felt like I was not getting. Like, I don't want to hear all the good. I also don't want to hear all the bad. I want to hear the real shit. And I felt like when I was looking for reviews for my lipo, everybody was, it seems like everybody had a certain type of people that they were trying to get on board or trying to prove something to with their getting their position or whatever the fuck. Whatever it was, I couldn't relate to it. That was the point, all of y'all. And I wanted to make content for people like me who were just looking to see if the procedure was safe, if it was worth it, fuck what other people was thinking about the procedure, and who's going to be looking, and why would you get this for it. I didn't want to hear all of that. I just wanted to hear the black and white of the situation. Now, when I started doing the German content, because of how well I was doing with my lipo review, and mind you, the reason why my YouTube channel was never going to be big off of cosmetic procedures, because I didn't want to do anything but get that lump of fat that was sitting above my vagina sucked out, because you can't work that off. And I had already did a big weight loss, and that was, it's kind of like skin control, whatever you want to call it, but I had to get that little pocket of fat gone. And that's the only thing I've had done. It's the only thing I would ever have done unless something happened and I had to get something corrected. But when I made the switch to the German content, I did not take into account that the audience is different, and we just gonna leave it at different. So by different, what I mean is, like I said, the audience with the lipo review wanted as real and raw and bloody as it could get. They wanted to know all the details, and I am so happy to give you all the details. Now the thing with that is, I was doing that shit also with my move to Germany, how I was living in Germany so far. I let y'all know every grievance, every annoyance, the things that I did like, but that, I wouldn't say it didn't go over well. It just, I don't know. I just think I disappointed a lot of people, especially if you were one of those people who live vicariously through those around you. I'm not the person you want to do that with, because I don't live my life for you. I live my life for me, and I'm happy to share my details with you. I won't share a lie, so I'm sorry if my truth, dispels some things or bust some myths or fuck up some fantasies for you. But I live my life for me, and I tell my experiences as I am. Mentioned already before, but like I said, I don't even know if I want to come back to YouTube, for the simple fact I'm still not motivated to. I know that most people are like, oh, the money that you get from this, the deals that you get from this, and my thing is, honey, things like lying about incidents of my life, or lying about people in my life, or lying about what I'm going to do with my life on camera to get other people to like me and sponsor me and fund me, just will not ever be something on my to-do list. It just won't. And I notice now that is pretty much, to me, that's how I see a lot of the influencing thing going. So I don't even want to be, I never wanted to be an influencer, but I don't want to be one now, for sure. However, like I said, I do like talking about myself, and I do want to update you all, because there is some people who is following the journey, and I do appreciate that a lot. So, one thing that I was forced to do in these last 4 years, of course, we experienced COVID, and that would have been the perfect time to put out content after content after content. But even by the time COVID happened, I still hadn't been in Germany mentally and spiritually at all. I was just physically here, and I was going through the motions of getting my paperwork and shit set up, because I already had a plan. And now I can get into what's been going on these last 4 or 5 years. Okay, so if you've been on this channel since I started it, or at least if you found like the early German videos, then you know I moved over here initially on student visa. And I don't think I gave too much a background story on that. Like I said, all of my early videos were kind of not expat vlogging material. It was still done in the format of review. And you can't review a fucking country or a society, especially when you haven't even lived there for a year. So I was making these videos, hadn't even lived in Germany for a year. But when I moved here, so my plan was, I was already sick of school. I was sick of school by my junior year of college. However, I've always known as a little child that I wasn't going to live in Detroit all of my life, and I always knew that I wanted to travel outside the country. Now, live outside the country was a joke. It really was. And then it's funny because another joke was Trump running for president at the time, and he kept winning and kept winning, and everybody was sharing memes on Facebook and saying like, oh, if he moved, I'm actually moving out the country. I buy my plane, my passport, this, that, and the third. You guys, when Trump got elected into office, I had just got back from my trip to Germany, which was supposed to be my first international trip of many, but I had never planned on moving outside the United States. He won. I was working. I had just got my degree. I kept getting no after no after no after no for better jobs. I was working at a grocery store, and I was only making, I think, like $9 an hour. And that's when I decided, why don't you take that meme serious? Why don't you just get up and leave? Because eventually I was going to leave Atlanta anyway because I didn't want to live in the South anymore. So I was like, I'm definitely going to take the shit back up to Chicago or somewhere. Maybe even Canada. But Germany was not on the radar. Let's just put that there. When I visited, I completely fell in love with the country. Germany is a beautiful fucking country, especially around that August, October. And that is beautiful. Like, if you don't do anything else, please take your ass to Germany for fall, autumn season. It is gorgeous. Like, it's just gorgeous. It's no other word. It's gorgeous. And I am not a nature girl. I am very much a city girl. But I tell you, I love going out to the walk parks and forests and little walking trails and stuff, specifically during August and through October, because it's just that beautiful. And yeah, so I came to visit, and I cried when I came back, y'all. I don't know if I covered this in my first video, but we're going to recover some shit, like I said. So when I first got back, I will never forget this. I was not even out of the airport, Hartsfield, Jackson, because I was living in Atlanta at the time. Well, I just cried because I was just like, what the fuck? Like, it's like when you go over your friend's house and you know your friend, right? And you go over your friend's house and you see it's plates everywhere, dishes everywhere. They answer the door in pajamas, hair disheveled, and all this stuff. You like, are you depressed? That's what the fuck it felt like when I came back and landed. And I instantly went into a panic mode because I'm like, I cannot live here. I don't give a fuck if it is 48 other states that I haven't lived in. I cannot live here. So, me being poor, because I didn't have any money. I told you I was working at a grocery store for $9 an hour. And not only was I poor, let me not say poor, because ain't nothing about me poor. I don't have poor character or nothing like that. That's what I associate when I say the word poor. So let me not say that. When I was financially challenged, okay, I didn't know how the fuck, and that's okay, because financially challenged is not a stopper for some people, but when you add the fact that you have morals and pride, it kind of does. So I'm like, now what is the legal way that I can move to this country without staying up at night overthinking shit? And ding, 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 education. And education has always been my shtick. It has always been my rock. It has always got me. When I tell you education, a book has pulled me out of so many fucking places that it's just the gift that keep on giving. Like, if I could give anybody a book as a gift, that's the best gift I think I could receive, and the best gift I think I could ever give anybody. The book, whether it's coming in PDF format or the actual hard copy, whatever, information is the best gift that you could ever give anybody. So I had the information of my alma mater. I graduated from Georgia State, but I went to Clark Atlanta University first. So between those two universities, I was looking for study abroad programs because I didn't know how I would sustain once I got over there, but I knew that I could get by quicker and easier on a student visa than I would just packing up my shit and leaving and depending on distant family members that I had like 4 hours away here in Germany. So I'm like, yeah, no, I love to do shit by myself on my own because when you do it that way, nobody can take it from you. Nobody can say shit. It's your shit. And that's what I wanted to do, even still with an international move that I knew nothing the fuck about. Now, of course, there's always the option of the military, but I have to admit, you guys, I honestly never gave the American military a thought. Like, the way the American military was not a thought in my head at any point in time growing up, even in Detroit. Honestly, it's something that I feel like I need to explore because why wasn't that? Like, it seemed like everybody else had at least a basic knowledge of, you know, the military. I knew nothing. Like, I knew nothing of the benefits. I think I just assumed that, I honestly assumed that people who joined the military either came from military families, like their father or their mother or somebody was in the military, or it was just the interest from like high school when they make you do the JROTC or something. I didn't know the whole psychology and stuff behind that until I got to Germany, and then I started meeting people from the military and offending people who are of the military community. Different video, different story. But once I started doing my digging and stuff on that, then I'm like, yeah, that shit wasn't gonna be for me anyway. So that still was not going to be an option. Because I don't like being told what to do. And I'm not one of those people who fall in line with just because you told me to do something and that yelling and barking in my face, baby, oh God, no. Like, it's and that's just the basics, the stereotypical stuff that we know about military life. I won't get into the other stuff on this video. If you want to know, comment, I'll make another video, but it won't be in this video. And I remember, I won't say who told me this, but somebody told me to find an old rich German and just marry them for citizenship. And that definitely was not going to be my route because, and before I say this, anybody that took the family route, having children, marrying somebody, you are one of the bravest motherfucking people in the world if you ask me. It ain't me, it's you. Because I don't think I could ever have not only my health, because pregnancy is a very big thing to happen to someone's body. And I definitely don't think I could just risk my overall livelihood on the feelings of attraction of somebody. Because what the fuck happens if that person wakes up one day and decide they don't love you at all, or never did, or they don't love you anymore? Now you stuck. And trust me, when I first got to Germany, I did not have a shortage of people asking me and telling me, oh, you can move in with me and I can help you with your visa situation, and you know, yeah. And stuff like that just scares me because I just feel like you're doing this because you expect me to be able to do everything you say because, you know, I'm a foreigner, I'm ignorant, I don't speak the language, all this type of stuff. And I'm just like, this goes against that moral code I was telling you about earlier. This is not a way that I could sleep at night knowing that I moved to a country using somebody. Like, no. If I'm with you, then I'm going to be actually in some type of love with you. It's not going to be a relationship of convenience or some shit like that. Like, you know. So, that's how we settled on education. And that's how I ended up getting over here to Germany. And the reason why I'm explaining this is because, in a nutshell, I really had no motivation I didn't want a master's. I didn't. I only got the student visa to get to Germany. So at the time, like I said, I went to EBS University, then I switched to HMKW, which stands for Hochschule Medien Kommunikation und Wirtschaft, which is University for Media, Communication, and Business. And this is when I developed this is when I really got to really learn myself, y'all. Because I didn't have anything but the faith of a motherfucking mustard seed, because I needed to be on some type of visa, and I had to be on student visa, and in order for me to be on student visa, you had to be accepted into a university. So if I didn't get accepted into the second university, I would be stuck at the first, and if I didn't like the first that much, or feeling of stuck, because I don't like feeling stuck, then I would have to get on a different visa. So after the expiration of the student visa, my pockets decided that I needed to get my ass on work visa. It wasn't like how it is today. Today, students can work as many hours as they want to or need to, as long as it don't conflict for them personally. When I first moved here, students could only work 20 hours a week legally. So no jobs, as long as you had a student visa when you were applying, they were not going to schedule you for 20 hours a week. They may not even give you an interview because you're only legally allowed to work 20 hours a week. So that was the dilemma that I was facing when I first moved here. Still persevered through that, found the job as a home care nurse, helping people with disabilities, which helped me integrate into German culture and understand where the fuck I'm living, and helped me use the language way more and not on such a basic conversational level. So love that job. It was hard. Do not get me wrong. I do not want to be on here acting like everything was just hunky dory, easy peasy. That job was hard as fuck, but for so many different reasons. But it did what it was supposed to do. It projected me where I needed to be projected.
Okay, so unfortunately, guys, I am running out of storage, so I cannot shoot my camera literally will not record past 50 seconds. And I've done everything. But to wrap it up, I started traveling like I planned on, like I've always wanted to, in 2018. In 2021, I found, honestly, the job that I can build a career with. I will say a dream job, as far as me, because it is aligned with both degrees. And I started that in 2022. I'm always confused. I think this is, 2022. And that's also the same year, like right after I started my new job, that's also like, I think like maybe a month later, I got my permanent residence card. So no more papers, no more renewing visas every 3 to 4 months or 6 months or every year. I don't have to renew it until the card expires, which I think is every 3 or 4, like a normal state ID or anything like that. And as you can see, I have a new kitty baby. He's a new addition. I got him last year. And yeah, I don't know what else to add. Of course, if you have any questions, y'all can always ask me in the comments. That's the point. Definitely ask your questions in the comments and subscribe so that you can get the answers to them. And of course, if you just like my content and just want to continue on with the journey, if you have been here so far, thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you are new here, you are so welcome, of course, to watch old videos and ask questions in the comment sections, of course, and I will do my best to answer them. Anything else, just make sure you visit, like if you want to keep up, just visit me on TikTok and, of course, YouTube. Both of them have the same handles, London-esque1 now. Just London-esque1, because it used to be London-esque01, but we changed that up, a little new rebranding. But I hope you guys have a good night and a good morning wherever you are, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers.